All right. Good morning, brothers and sisters. This morning I'm going to read one verse right here in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 11. It says, in whom, talking about Christ also, in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will. And when it says, according to the purpose of him who worketh all things after the counsel of his own will, that's talking about God. And God, it says, God works all things after the counsel of his own will. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to build an equation in your minds to show and disprove, quite simply actually, that free will doesn't exist. It can't be free will if God works all things after the counsel of his own will. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend we have a jar on one side of an equation, okay? It's going to have a jar and then another jar on the opposite side, okay? And on one side, we're going to fill this jar up with all things. I mean everything. There's nothing left. Well, except for in this equation, there'll be the jar left on the other side, okay? So, okay, and then we'll write, God works all these things after the counsel of his own will. Okay, now I want you to take and look at the other side of the equation with this other jar. It has nothing in it. And it itself is actually a thing. So we got to take that jar and put it over on the other side of the equation, and there'll be nothing left on the opposite side of the equation because God is working all things after the counsel of his own will. So let's go and let's pretend now. Let's go to that opposite side of the equation and see if there's anything over there left for us to work after the counsel of our own will. Is there anything over there on the other side of the equation? No, the jar has even been removed. We're even removed over to put and been put into the other jar. So there's nothing left on the other side of the equation to work anything after our own will. So just by reasonable deduction, by putting all things on one side of the equation and God working all those things after the counsel of his own will, automatically negates any ability for there to be any other things that aren't worked outside of God's will. I hope you get that, brothers and sisters. I love you all, brothers and sisters. You have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay strong in the Lord. Jesus loves you, and God is working everything after the counsel of his own will.